All right, we'll just wait for Saad to get on and then we'll get going. Just waiting on Saad. Hey man,
It's good, bro.
how you doing?
What do you say?
Good, I'm good. I'm just, keeping busy. What have you been doing?
Yeah.
Trying to keep busy?
Just chilling.
Yeah, working out a little bit or no?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you guys
Getting
been
ready for
doing,
next season.
Yeah, have you guys been doing team workouts and stuff or no?
Not team workouts, but we have workouts we have to follow.
Right, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess we'll give you a brief introduction. I wanted to talk more about kind of like the end, like the tail end of your packing career, right? I want to get into a little bit of your experience with school volleyball, and then just talk about kind of your mindset as an athlete, because obviously we had Jesse on a couple weeks ago, right, or last week, and we had him talking that your mindset and your will to win is like second to none, right? So I really want to get onto that side of things. But I guess kind of I want to start off with school volleyball, right? So club, you had a very successful career, right? You guys won 15U All Canada Nationals, 16 you guys won Canada East, where you were named National All Star, right? And then 18 you guys won Provincials and Nationals. But before we kind of get into that, I want to talk about school volleyball, right? So you started playing on the senior team, right, for school when you were in grade 10?
Yeah, grade 10.
Grade 10. And so obviously you guys came pretty close to winning, right? And then lost to Shawan School in the finals. And given that Mississauga Secondary never won a OFSA gold medal before, what was it like to kind of have that feeling to kind of win that gold medal?
Yeah, so the year before, I was in grade 10. Origin was on my team too. So it was Origin and I on a senior team. And like our team was pretty good. We had Javid. He came back for another year on the right side. We had Parvir. We had Nav, Origin, me setting. We had Damon. We had a solid squad. We had Hornur as lip. So, we had a solid squad. And we weren't that good leading up to OFSA. I think we went in rank like 4th or something, Like we won one tournament. We weren't too good. But going into OFSA, it was like, yo, we got to win now. Because like Saga's never won, right? So it's just like a motivation for everyone to win. And that trip, it was in Windsor. So like all of us would basically stay up till like 5 a.m. every single day.
Yeah.
We'd go out, like chill with Parvir. I was a youngin back then, so like I was just following Parvir, Javid, Nav, like around and all.
Just doing whatever they're doing, right?
Exactly. Like we'd sleep like 3 hours and just go out, play, and just beat everyone, So it was fun for us. And then we played Eastview in the quarters, beat them easily. The semis, we played Tariq's team, St. Michael's with Tariq, Tom Sora.
And that was
pretty
a
good team,
better, right?
Yeah, so we were down 2-0, and we came back and won that game. It was the craziest games I've ever played, one of the craziest games. And then we played Shawan's team in the finals with Shawan, Andrew Tai. That was a good team.
Yeah, for sure.
In the first 2 sets, I thought we were going to take it. We had a 2-0 lead. And then we just got tired. It was a long
weekend, right?
It was a long weekend, no sleep, We just got tired. And Shawan being Shawan just took over. And, we lost in a 5-setter. And that, that really hurt us. Like, that was one of the losses, like, that was the loss where you don't take the medal home. You throw it out in the garbage. You don't need that, right? Like, you're going for gold here. So the following year, we were better. Like we had Avi, which is huge. We had Avi to the team. Who else we have? I think he was like the only
John, right? You would add Matt.
Yeah.
Right? Like just different role players, right?
Exactly. So that season, like we just took over Ontario for school. We never lost a game. It was easy, like 42-0, won an OFSA championship. And then I'd say the second gold medal my third year was an important one because, like Avi, Arjun, and I knew that, the guys who came before us, we're talking about the greats here, like, Nav, like he has one championship. You look at the Crush guys, they have two, So if you want to be remembered, you got to win 2 championships, you got to win at least 2. So like at first we're just kind of getting used to it, like guys are going in and out of the lineup and all of that stuff. We went to officer rank, I think it was second or third. It was York Mills that was ranked first.
Yeah, and they had a good team.
Yeah, they had a good team. They had Cole, Xander, Trent. But like I knew we could beat them. We just, we couldn't beat them too early on. We had to beat them when the time was right because they're playing a game of chess here, right?
Yeah.
So we won it. We had to play Marcy's. We had to beat Marcy's and Robsa.
Yeah, who had a really good team as well.
Yeah. They had Powell, Nathan, Christian, Granur, like other guys, but like,
guys,
that team was easy to beat. It was just stopping Powell, just commit on Powell every single time. Yeah, they were easy to beat. So they made it to the semis. They played a team from Niagara in the semis, and they lost to them in a 5-setter.
Right.
And then we played Xander, Cole, and Trent in the
semis.
Yeah. And like we wanted that matchup. Like we were ready for the smoke here.
For sure.
We were ready for the smoke. Like Arjun was ready. He moved back to the middle. Avi playing right side. Like, Avi's the goal in my opinion.
Yeah, just a lot of versatility, right?
Exactly. This guy, he could play any position and be a positive on the team. He just score for you. However, it doesn't matter pass, block, anything. It doesn't matter serve. Like for me, he's a goal. One of the greatest players ever played with. So we knew we were gonna beat them. So we were up 2-0, and then we lost 2 sets in a row. And then we made a change. We put in Doha and Mark.
Yeah.
From Doha and Mark from the 17U team back then.
Yeah.
And they went off for us. So we won that. Going into the finals, before we played the finals, we knew we were gonna win. Like everyone was excited. The atmosphere wasn't really like the atmosphere you go into a finals. Like everyone's smiling, everyone's happy, everyone's talking, So like I had a feeling that like everyone was like, they were happy, we were ready to win. But, like,
everyone was feeling good, right?
Yeah, exactly. We couldn't be overconfident, So like Arjun, Avi, and I, like being the leaders we are, we just like really got everyone composed and ready to play. And we won that, bought another championship to Saga. And yeah.
So you brought up.
All say we have 2 championships,
Yeah, exactly. So you brought up quickly. I just want to say Avi's saying he's 5'11", so I don't know if you want to give your thoughts on that real quick.
I'd say with shoes on, he's 5'11".
5'11", okay.
Yeah.
But you brought up Avi and Arjun quite a bit, right? I guess kind of getting on that point. So obviously you played a lot of school volleyball with them, and you played your whole club career with them. What was that feeling like? Because obviously Jesse had also said earlier on, right, that you guys won ROBSA, OFSA, Provincials, and Nationals, right, all in your 18U year. So to share kind of like 3 or 4 big wins, right, with the 2 of them, like what was that like?
Avi and Arjun are my brothers, like every time I step on the floor with them, on the court with them, like I'm just confident. Like no one could beat us. It's like you're talking about like the Chicago Bulls, the big 3 here, Miami Heat. Like no one could beat us. No one could touch us. We're too close together. Like if someone was having a bad game, the other 2 guys would step it up and play better, Right. And like we're just there to like make everyone better. So like what we had, the 3 of us had, even going into like our 18U season, like we're just like really close together.
Right. And
what made us really close was Jesse would basically drive us to like every single practice, every single tournament, everything, So like we would talk about winning, we would talk about like everything in life, We wouldn't talk about volleyball all day. We would talk about like other things going on, like everything, So it was more of a family thing, right? So like when it came down to playing with them, it was just easy. You know,
Yeah.
it's just you're playing with your brothers. You're
Yeah,
like no one can beat you when you're like close with your teammates. You know.
for sure.
Yeah.
And so I guess with those car rides, kind of with Jesse, Avi, Arjun, and then I assume Powell was all obviously
Yeah, Paul was there
well,
too.
right? What was maybe like? Could you say that maybe some of that contributed to maybe your competitive mindset, just spending a lot of time with like Jesse and all those guys?
Yeah, for sure. You know what I liked about that group? Everyone was honest with you. You know, no one would baby you around. No one would sugarcoat anything for you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you had a shit game, you have your teammates to tell you. Like you have Abby Arjun Powell telling you had a shit game. You
Right.
know, like if you had a bad practice, you would hear it. You know, if you messed this up or if you did something, if like you're messing around, whatever it was, you know, you would hear it.
Yeah. So you were held
So
accountable, right, the whole time?
exactly, you were held accountable for like all your actions. You know, so like that really pushed me to like just become better, and I just we just wanted to win more than anyone.
Yeah.
Right? It was just winning for us. Like we
So
knew what we had to do, and we knew how to do it, and we did it.
yeah. So you're talking about kind of that urge to win, right, and that urge to compete. Obviously, spending a lot of time in the club, right? You would have trained with Jeff Chung. Do you think some of that maybe came from your experience training with Jeff because he likes to make everything so competitive and everything being a hardworking environment?
Yeah, for sure. I like Jeff because he's a perfectionist like I am. You know, like everything you do, like you train for an hour and a half with Jeff, everything has to be perfect. You know, every single rep you get.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about like the way you hold the ball, the way you toss the ball to your setter, you know? Like everything has to be perfect. And I really like that, you know? So like every Sunday I would go in a mindset with just like you just gotta get better, you know? Like you're getting an hour and a half of like training from a very good coach. So you
Yeah,
just
for
gotta
sure.
get better, you know? So like yeah, for sure Jeff is everything. He made me the setter I am today.
And so I guess while we're kind of on the topic of setting with Jeff, what do you think was one thing you really took away from your time training with him?
With Jeff, what I took away mainly was that like if you practice hard and if you work hard in practice, it's gonna make the game easier for you, right? So like if you fool around, if you laugh, you know, if you flop, we used to call it flop for our team at practice. Like the games are gonna become harder. But if you practice the way you play the game or better, when you go into the game, it's just second nature for you, you know. So it just makes everything easier. So it just starts with practice. The preparation is what I got out of them.
Right. Okay. So I wanted to talk about your 18U team, but I want you to almost give me a justification. So Jesse said last week that his 2018 would have beaten your 2018 team. So how about rather than like saying that your team was better, like give me maybe some reasoning as to why like you think your team would probably beat Jesse's 2018.
Well, our team, yeah, we would definitely win because it'd be a five-setter for sure. Like every set would be close.
Yeah.
But like great teams playing, when it gets to 20s, it's gonna be 20-all at one point. I feel like our team would take it for sure. Cause
Right.
like we're more clutch. We have better players in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like when it matters, we would take it.
And so I guess kind of going on that 18U team, right? You said you guys have a lot of guys that could score the ball, right? Given obviously you guys had, like, in my opinion, right, and Jesse said this as well, three of the best middles in the country, right, in 18U, and then obviously with two amazing outsides, right, and Cole and Xander, and then you had Tom Williams, right, and you guys had a lot of good players on the bench, right? You had Avi, who's a great passer, like almost like how did you know who to set, like because given like with having so many options?
Well, at first, the beginning of that season, it was tough for me. Like I heard a lot. Jesse McAllister would snap at me a lot. Like, what are you doing here? You don't know what you're doing with this team. Like Jesse used to tell me, he's like, we can't have a stacked team with a shitty setter. Like
Yeah.
we're never gonna win. So like I kind of took that personally. Like like I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to be the reason why we lose. So like I knew, like it was simple for us. Like Avi, like one of the greatest passers ever, like he's unshankable when it matters. So I knew he was gonna put the ball where it needed, every single time. So our middles were just OP, right? So I could move them around. And with our middles, I could set up Cole Xander with the pipe left side and then get Tom involved, you know? So the main thing for having like a stack team where everyone could score, you just got to keep everyone involved and just know who to set when it matters.
For sure. And then I guess with having so many options, right? Obviously, everyone on that team would have received a number of sets. Would you say there's like a specific position that was maybe harder to set for you, like maybe the middle or the left side, the pipe ball?
Not really. Like, I mean, like it depends on the situation, right? So we're like whatever the defense gives you, that's where you got to go. You got to look at mismatches, like matchups, like all of that. And that's what you got to go with.
And so kind of on the side, just about matchups, I just want to jump to 16 nationals, right? Obviously, you won All-Star, right? And Arjun had won national MVP. So
no,
obviously,
Arjun won MVP, Powell won All-Star, Avi won All-Star.
Avi won All-Star.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, given obviously, because Avi was still hitting at the time, right? Obviously, you had Powell hitting and Arjun hitting. Maybe you can talk to me about what made each, like, all three of them maybe versatile. Like, maybe you can start with Avi and then go to Powell and then go to Arjun.
All right, so Avi, he was athletic. Like, he was crazy. Like, this man's bouncing meter balls inside the attack line. Yeah. Like, in our semis, I think we ran an X, like, straight away. Powell went for a shoe. Avi went for a meter ball, just bounced it, Like, Avi would set the tone, and his passing and defense was solid. So he'd be an overall solid player for us. So he was good. Arjun was just a beast that year. I think that was Arjun's breakout year, where like he really told the OVA that he's there, and like he's gonna be one of the great players in the future, even like playing in the OUA. Like he was big. In transition, he was really good at transition because I remember setting him in 14U and 15U. Like he would block, but he wouldn't really get off the net. It would be like a half-ass approach, So I would really get on him for that. But in transition, he was a beast. And like I knew where to set him and how to set him, and we had a really good connection. And with Powell, like Powell's been our, like our LeBron or Jordan.
Yeah, like your go-to guy, right?
Yeah, our go-to guy since like 14 years. So, when it matters, like Powell is one of the most competitive guys I know. Like everyone thinks he's funny off the court. He's always joking around off the court. But when it comes to practice, when it comes to a game, like, Powell's going to show up.
And he was there working, right?
Like, for sure. Yeah, Powell's a beast, man. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, Powell's going to show up.
For sure. And I guess just kind of talking with, because you obviously brought up Avi's athleticism. You and Avi had quite a bit of success, right, during your time playing beach together.
Yeah.
Kind of, maybe you can talk to me about like how did Avi's athleticism maybe help you with help you guys in beach?
In beach. So Avi and I started playing. So I was supposed to play beach with Avi's cousin Granur.
Right.
And then Granur couldn't play that weekend. And then Avi was like, yo, you want to play? Like, we could play together, right? So we played that tournament. I think it was in Coburg, and we dominated everyone.
Right.
Like, it was easy. Like, it was kind of too easy. So we started practicing together. Like, we would practice hard. I remember, like, our practices used to be with, like, Jordan, Pranchu, Michael Kong, Avi, Damon, like...
Yeah, all the older guys, right?
Yeah, all the older guys. So our competition was really good. So when we got to provincials, like it was pretty easy for us. We won that easily. But 14U was the real year where Avi and I really wanted to show everyone that we're one of the greatest beach teams to ever play in Pac-Man. Because when you think about beach, you go in history. You think about Jesse and Kadeem. You think about Parveer Shawan. You think about Harnur Jordan, Pranchu, Harnur.
Right.
You could keep going, There's so many good teams.
For sure.
But Avi and I, that season, we went into provincial ranked second because of some next thing where, like, if a team plays older team, the rankings. Yeah. So we were supposed to be ranked first, but we went in ranked, like, second or third, which is fine, because we went in there. We didn't lose a set. We dominated everyone.
Right.
And yeah, and a big, like, I have to say this, like when we were young, like 14, 15, everyone used to be like, yo, you know, it's Saad, like, you know, Saad's leading this team, you know, he's doing everything. But like in my head, and Avi knew this too, without Avi, like, I don't win anything.
Right.
Like I remember teams would be serving Avi, and I would tell myself, like, this team is stupid. Like,
Right.
why are you serving the best player on the beach right now? You know,
Yeah.
like he was crazy at beach.
Right. So Jesse asked a question here in the chat. You and Avi versus Shawan and Parvia, who wins? Avi said that you and him win 21-15, 21-12.
We actually ran that. I think we were in the 15U or something, or 14U. It was part. Yeah, we played them. I remember beating them at practice, and Shawan getting mad. So yeah, I'm going with us for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. We'd beat them.
So I guess kind of so obviously for you, and obviously I know this, right, just from obviously knowing you, right, and obviously playing with you and against you, right, obviously at Indogan tournaments and then coming out to our practices, right. You make it a point, right, to make sure that all your teammates are working hard, and just everyone around you is working hard. Like I remember this season, I think I passed 2 bad balls in a row, and you kind of came up to me and you're like, what are you doing, right? Like you need to pass a lot better, right? Like, where does that come from? Like, why do you think you're so competitive?
Jackson saying we lost him in 14U. That's facts. I remember Jackson beating us in 14U. I see you, Jackson. But yeah, in practice, you know, in practice, you got to kind of take it up another level. Then you're gonna play in the game. Cause think about it, us as Pac-Man, we're guaranteed to be in the semis and the finals for every big tournament, tier 1.
You're expected,
you know?
right? You're
Exactly.
expected.
You're gonna make it. You know you're gonna make it. But once you get to that level, you got to finish because teams are going to be as good as you, right? So at practice, if you're faced with that same competition, same intensity level, everything, and the way you practice is good, you know, you work hard, it's going to make the game so much easier. So
Right.
say at practice, like, you know, you're just doing a normal serve and pass and you're fooling around, like passing, you know, it's whatever, it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
In the game, in the national finals, when you have hundreds of people watching you and the
That's
pressure's on you,
happen.
exactly, you're not gonna perform. You're gonna go back to your old habits where, you know, it's like whatever, you know, like the pass behind the attack line is fine. So like if you fix up your practice and just work hard at practice and make everything perfect, you gotta make every single touch count. When it comes to the game, when it comes to big games, it's gonna make it easier. It's gonna be like second nature, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
And
So
so
that's how I
I guess
approach it.
I guess stuff that you're saying kind of resonates with what Dave would say to us a lot this season, right?
Yeah.
How was your relationship with him then?
Oh, Dave. Oh, yeah. We go back. I remember playing Dave. I remember meeting him for the first time in grade 9. It was a Robsa game in
Yeah.
grade 9, and like, you know, like it was us and Rick Hansen at that time. Like there were a competition back then. Like Robsa wasn't too good,
Yeah.
so it was Rick Hansen because they were coached by Dave. So I remember being at the net, and I'm talking like I always do, you know, and
Yeah.
he's just sitting there, just staring at me. You know, he's red. He's all red. He's just staring at me, biggest eyes. It's like the scariest thing ever. You know.
Yeah.
So I look at him. You know, we're in a game. I'm not trying to back down. So I'm staring at him back, right?
Yeah.
But I kid you not, I was so scared inside. So, um, so my first encounter with Dave was like, you know, it was pretty like, you know, I thought he was a scary guy. And then
Yeah.
I got to know him better in 18U, and he's just one of the greatest coaches ever. You know, he just knows how to connect with the athletes, like the relationships he builds with everyone. Like, you know, he's such a great guy. He has such a pure heart. He just wants to win, and he just wants to do it in the best way possible. You know?
For sure. And so I guess because obviously you and I would both know, right? Dave's pretty hard on his athletes, right? Like he expects them to come to every practice and perform. Do you think that maybe helped you want to perform every day at practice as well? Like just knowing that he wants you to do well too?
Um, yeah, but like I feel like our team culture was already like that from like 15U, you know? So not really, but yeah, for sure. When Dave was there, like I would like during games, during practices, he would pull me to the side and just snap at me because I'm making stupid decisions. And he would tell me why I'm making stupid decisions, and he would explain it to me, So we really developed a good relationship where he could tell me anything and I could tell him anything. So it just made it more free, So when it comes to like games, big games, he could tell me anything and I wouldn't break, and I could tell him something back, like, this is what I see. And he would tell me, like, oh, this is what I see, so we would work together and just make it work. So, yeah.
So you guys were able to have a little bit of a strong bond, right?
Yeah, for sure. Even till this day, like, I was driving down Twain and I saw him going for a walk. So, we had a little conversation. It's just nice catching up with him.
Yeah, just catching up with him, right?
Yeah.
So I get kind of, Jesse always brings it up in the comments, but I always have to bring up some, like, a bad memory, and I brought it up with Arjun as well. But in your 17U year, right, the 16U team did better than you guys at Provincials. And then obviously you guys had a good run in 17 Nationals, but then Powell ended up getting injured, right, which is a key part of your offense. Yeah. How do you think kind of not winning Provincials or Nationals in 17, you kind of helped fuel you to kind of like perform in 18U?
See, in 17U, we were always kind of there, but we couldn't finish, Like, we just couldn't finish for some reason. And, my brother was on the 16U team. Yeah, when they were playing, Saki was on the 16U team. So, yeah, like, all I got to say about that is they're lucky they didn't play us in the semis,
Right.
It would have been different if they played us in the semis, for sure. It would have been a rest game for the starters on our team. Like,
right.
One of those.
Yeah.
But, they're a good team. They're a solid team. They won Nationals for a reason. But, like, they didn't play us, so they can't really say they're better than us.
For sure.
Our real competition that year was Durham.
Mm-hmm.
So Durham ended up winning, which is fine. But yeah, in Nationals, 17U, we were having, going into 17U Nationals, I remember everyone on our team being confident. Like, everyone was confident, It's like, at Nationals, like, we're going to turn up, we're going to win. Like, it's there. First day, everything goes well.
For sure.
Second day, we're playing Seaside. I think they were a top 3 team in the country. And
right.
we were destroying them. Like, we won the first set easily. Second set, we were up like 10 points. And one of the players, the right side. The lefty right side. Yeah, he was a brown kid. The lefty right side.
Yeah.
He went under net when Powell was blocking, and Powell messed his ankle up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a huge loss to us. But like, it is what it is. You just got to go into day 3 like ready and prepared.
Yeah,
we were in the quarters. Big shout out to Arjun for Arjun. I think Arjun was the right side or left side, and then he went to middle on the 3rd day. So all season he played left side or right side, I forget what. And then the last day of Nationals, he went back to middle, and he's just a beast.
Yeah, he did the best for the team, right?
Exactly. And that was a 3-setter in the quarters. I think we lost 15-13, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, we got our revenge the following year.
Yeah, so how did kind of, maybe we can talk about that 18 Provincials tournament, right? I think you guys dropped 1 set all weekend, and aside from that, I don't think you guys really had much competition, right?
Yeah.
I guess, how was it, like, because obviously I think you guys knew you guys were the heavy favorites to win, right? Especially given, like, you guys were winning tournaments and Cole wasn't fully playing, right? Cole was playing a little bit of lib, right? You had Avi playing on the outside here and there. What was it like to maybe keep your teammates in line and make sure that they were still focused on getting the win?
Well, in Provincials, our team had a history of losing to Durham every single year in the finals,
Yeah.
And we were kind of tired of that. So with our team in 18U, it was like the Warriors going in, getting revenge on LeBron. Like in 2017, 2018, we were ready. So in Ontario, like, honestly, like, Ontario was too easy for us. Like, we went to Provincials to put on a show for our fans, the little kids come watch us, we were just there to put on a show for everyone. But we knew that Nationals was our biggest challenge and that we had to dominate at Nationals. Right. So yeah, going into Nationals, I would say our mindset was completely different. like everyone was more focused, you know.
For sure.
We were always as a team. It was just different, you know.
And then obviously you guys played against Seaside, right? Where the team who Powell had injured his ankle against,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Year before. I guess that team obviously had a couple guys that were playing university volleyball, right, at the time as well, or like they had played university ball that past year. Do you think that maybe kind of fueled you guys to want to beat them just because they had guys that were playing at the next level?
Well, I didn't even know they had guys playing, like guys who played uni ball.
Right.
It didn't really look like they played it, you know, like we were better than them.
Yeah.
But yeah, our nationals playoffs were like it was kind of meant to be, you know. Everything just like fell in place. So our pre-quarters we played Durham Attack,
Yeah.
which the team we lost to like our whole lives, you know.
Yeah. Your last tournament ever, right?
Exactly. So we played them in pre-quarters, and we put on a show. It was just like it was crazy. We just beat them, like
Right.
how we're supposed to. In the quarters we played Windman, and Windman was the team that beat us without Powell in the quarters in 17. So that was a revenge game too. You know, they had a big left side, so we needed to beat them to tell them that, you know, we're the top dogs in the league, not you.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. That first set, it was a close first set. We made some big plays in the end, and then we took it. And then second set was just easy. We took that.
Yeah.
In the semis, we played
Fraser Valley, right, with Brody.
yeah. So that was the team with Brody, where
Yeah.
Xander and Cole lost to him 3 years in a row at nationals.
Yeah.
So, you know, before that game, it was just crazy seeing Xander and Cole. Like, they were war ready.
Yeah, they were
And
ready
also-
because they were done losing to him, right?
Exactly. They were done losing, and like they just wanted to beat him. You know, like like we knew Brody's a really good player. Even right now, like one of the great players
things out
in Canada. Exactly. Yeah, he has a national championship and everything. But you know, like we had to beat him, and we got it done. It was an easy 2-0 win. And then going into the finals, we barely got any rest. Like we had zero rest. So we finished our game. We had like 10, 15 minutes off.
Yeah, and then
yeah, exactly. We were on right away. You know, we forgot the balls. Like our team does every single tournament.
We did that this year a lot.
Yeah, exactly. We forgot the ball. Our assistant coach Frank ran to get the balls. He broke his knee or something because he like slipped on something. Like, yeah, it was just chaos. You know. But that was the team where the injured Powell. You know.
Yeah.
So Powell and Xander really took over that game. You know, Xander had like 12 aces that game.
Right.
So he really put us on his back, and then Powell just did his thing. Everyone did their thing, you know. Avi was just passing dimes.
Yeah, everyone was playing.
Jackson, yeah, you know, Jackson Bear just doing his thing, just being a beast he is. And yeah, like it was just fun, you know. Just enjoyed playing with my brothers. Won that tournament, you know.
Yeah, getting that last win, right?
Exactly.
Kind of like being done with club volleyball. So I guess moving to the university side, what made you choose Ryerson?
Ryerson. Well, I was deciding between Western and Ryerson, and I wanted to stay at Ryerson because, you know, I had Nav went there too.
Yeah.
Nav, he went there, and then Abby was gonna go there. Origin was thinking about going there, so you know, it was just like, yeah, exactly. So it was just like something we could like take to Ryerson, you know, our Saga culture, that winning culture, take it to Ryerson.
Yeah.
And you know, it's close to home. So that's why I chose Ryerson.
So I guess kind of the last thing is, so of course we know that I'm sure everyone that's in the OUA wants to win an OUA championship and wants to get a chance to compete at nationals, right? What would be some other future goals for you in the sport? Do you want to like look to play overseas maybe in the future? Do you want to maybe come back to the club and coach?
Yeah, for sure. Like I would love to coach, like coaching, you know. I don't know if kids these days could take it from me, you know. I would go pretty hard on them.
Right.
So I don't know if they're, you know, like if you're soft, like I can't really coach you because the parents will get cheesed and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. Like I would love to coach, like maybe coach with Jesse, learn from Jesse because he's one of the greatest coaches ever.
For sure.
I don't know about playing. Like, I for me as a volleyball player, I just want to be the best volleyball player I can
Yeah.
for myself. You know, I just want to reach my max potential and just be the best I can.
And I guess just wait and see where things take you, right?
Exactly.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for coming on. That was awesome.
For sure.
Best of luck next season. I'm sure we'll find some time to play against each other next
Yeah,
season.
for sure, for sure.
And once this is all done, we gotta play beach together too sometime soon.
Yeah, pull up the leader, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we'll talk later. Have a good day.
All right, easy, bro.
Later, man.
All right, bye, man.
All right, so this Friday we'll have Cole Zander and Trent Ketrositsky on at 12 o'clock.